everyone, it's Moose, and thank you so much for joining me back here. We're going to do another wrap-up video today. Today we are going to be doing the April 2021 reading wrap-up. I'm actually very pleased with myself for April. I read a total of 8 books and my goal is only 2 a month, so I'm very happy. As of right now, according to my Goodreads challenge, my goal this year is to read 60 books. I am currently at 26, so I am 7 books ahead of schedule. I am so excited. So jumping right into it, the first book I read this month was A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second book in the From Blood and Ash series. Apparently it was supposed to be a trilogy. Now it's going to be 4 parts. Anyways, this is the second one. It was really good. The first one and the second one kind of blend together for me a little bit. From what I remember, this one is more about development in terms of Poppy as a character, the relationships and dynamics between the characters. So I just remember a lot of development in this book instead of a whole lot of plot progression. It was really good though. It still has all of those elements that this series has come to be known for in my eyes. It's got the romance, it's got the battle scenes, it's got the fantasy elements to it, the questions that make you want to keep reading, the pacing is done well. I really enjoyed this series, and I'm going to talk about the third book later on in this video. But yeah, this is the second book to that. And it was good. This past month, I also listened to the original Acotar Trilogy. So I listened to A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings and Ruin. I listened to all 3 of these, and listen to this dumb stuff, okay? I was listening to these on Scribd. And so they had the first 2 on Scribd. They had all of them on Scribd. And then as I was getting ready to read the third one, A Court of Wings and Ruin, they, for some reason, took them off of Scribd and was like, hey, these will be available next month in May. I didn't want to wait until May to finish them because I was on the third one. Like, why take them off just to put them back on a month later? There's like a month where they just weren't on Scribd. So I found the third one in other places. YouTube is a good resource. So yeah, I read these 3 books. And let me just say, I've said this in multiple videos by now, but From Blood and Ash and then Acotar give me very similar vibes. Rhys and Castile are, they're not the same character at all, but they give me similar vibes. I like Poppy a little bit more than I like Fabra, but just that whole fantasy element with some romance into it and some battle scenes, they give me similar vibes. So it was kind of appropriate in my head to read them so side by side. And it kind of helped me realize, 1, how they were alike, and then 2, how they contrast and how they're different. I've been itching to reread this trilogy anyways. I plan on reading the novella, of course, Frost and Starlight, and then the new one that just came out that I have no idea what the name of it is. I think it's about Nesta. They're on Scribd now because it is May as of when I'm recording this. So they are on Scribd right now. So I do plan on rereading the novella and then reading the new one this month. Maybe. I don't know. This month maybe? I don't know. Either way, I've been itching to reread the series. I got my fix in. I wasn't as consumed this time around as I was the first time I read through this series. The first time I read through this series, I was eating that stuff up, staying up late just to finish it. Yeah, I was definitely engaged though. That's not to say I was bored or anything like that. I did really enjoy them, just maybe not as much as I had the first time around. This month I also finished Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. Super good. I've been working on this book for what feels like months now. Because I've been reading it on Libby, and it's kind of a chunky book. So I would read a big chunk of it, my life would get busy, I wouldn't be able to finish it on time. It would go back to the library, my hold would run out, and I'd have to wait for it again. So I've read this book in like 3 different chunks now, but it was still great. I read Uprooted, I don't think it was last year, I think it was the year before that, since I've started my booktube channel, and it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. And so I wanted to read something else by Naomi Novik, and I've heard good things about this one, and I honestly like this one better. I've heard people say if you like one, you probably won't like the other. That was not my experience. I enjoyed both of them very thoroughly. I did enjoy this one more, though, I think. If anything, I think the ending was maybe a little rushed. Everything just kind of concluded itself very nicely, all within the span of a couple chapters. But otherwise, it was engaging, it was intriguing. I've heard people say this is a retelling for Rumpelstiltskin. Our main character in the book ends up being able to turn things into gold, and so the Winter Kingdom kind of steals her away to use that power. There's also this demon in this world who is kind of, what was that? Oh, I have heartburn, I'm so sorry. Who's kind of planning to take over, and so there's just a big plot to try to fix both of those situations. And it's really good. I am excited to read more books by her. I think she's slowly becoming one of my new favorite authors. I seem to enjoy her writing style. Then I read The Crown of Gilded Bones, also by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the third book in the From Blood and Ash series. I have a whole reading vlog dedicated to this. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, other than to say it was excellent. I ate this up. I ate it up. And I can't wait for the next one to come out. The pacing was good. There's romance in it. There's fantasy elements. There's battle scenes. The ending was phenomenal and left me on the edge of my seat wanting to read the next one. Poppy's character in this book, I think, really flourishes. She comes out of her shell. She really kind of develops into who I think she's meant to be. I really enjoyed this book. But like I say, I have a whole reading vlog dedicated to it. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. Then I listened to 7 Ways to Kill a King by Melissa Wright. This was fine. It was just a book I found on Scribd because I needed something to listen to on my way to work every morning. It was fine. I don't know if it's because I was distracted by other things or what. I wasn't as engaged with this story. The characters to me were not as enticing as some of the other characters I've read in other series before. I don't think this is a series. I think this is a standalone. The book ended as if it was a standalone. Yeah, the pacing was kind of monotonous and redundant. I feel like the same things kept happening, just at different places and in slightly different ways. It was fine. It was fine to listen to. I wouldn't have wanted to dedicate my time to physically read this, though. There's a difference to me between physically spending my time to sit here and open a book and read it and dedicate brain power to it, opposed to listening to something as an audiobook. I tend to keep audiobooks for things that I want to know the story. But I know I maybe won't be as invested in, and that's how I would describe this book. I don't regret reading it. It's definitely not one of my favorites. This book follows a girl whose name starts with an M, but I don't even know what her name is. I can't remember. Either way, she's a princess whose kingdom has kind of been toppled. Her mom was the queen at one point. There was like a coup to get her off the throne. She was killed, and her mom made her make this promise to take the kingdom back, and that's pretty much what it is. It's 7 Ways to Kill a King. The kingdom was split up into 7 different factions, sections, districts, whatever. Each district has their own king who used to be like a lord over that. The lords got together, killed the mom, so on and so forth. So she's planned how to kill these men so she can regain the throne for her family. It was fine. Then, my last book for this month has become a new obsession of mine here within the span of like the last week or so. I read Just Plain Sadie by Amy Lillard. I don't know how to pronounce that last name, I'm sorry. This is an Amish, like, Christian romance book. And after reading Acotar and the From Blood and Ash books this month, I really wanted something more lighthearted, a romance that wasn't as in-depth and heavy. I really just wanted something a little innocent. And so I had an urge to read a Christian romance, and this one was available on Scribd. I read it. I found I really enjoyed it. I don't really know a whole lot about Amish culture or Mennonite culture, which is what this book dealt with. This was kind of a forbidden love story where this Amish girl likes this Mennonite boy, and both of their communities are kind of like, hey, you're not allowed to be together, that kind of thing. It's also got a love triangle in it because she is best friends with an Amish boy who she kind of grew up thinking she would marry, and then something happens and they end up kind of deciding not to get married, that kind of thing. So, but the guy still wants to be with her. So it's a love triangle while also a forbidden romance story. Anyways, it was innocent still. And that's what I wanted. And that has led me to reading more of these types of books, but I have read them here within the last couple days in May. So I'm not going to talk about those today. But yeah, I think I found a new genre that I actually enjoy. And I didn't know it. I used to read romance back in the day, back when I was in like middle school. I'm an adult now. It's been like 10 years since I used to read romance books. But I did enjoy them. And I apparently still enjoy them. So yeah, I've discovered something that I enjoyed that I didn't know that I did. Anyways, those were the books that I read in April. Like I say, I'm really happy with my April reading this past month. 8 books is great for me, and I'm ahead of schedule in terms of my yearly goal, and I fully anticipate to reach that goal this year and that goal in May of 2 books. Like I say, 2 books is my goal every year. Whew. 2 books is my goal every month. I've already read one. I am partway through another one. They're the more Amish romance books. I've kind of just been reading one after the other here recently. So yeah, I've almost already got 2 books down, and it's the 2nd of May right now. So I'm feeling good about myself, and I finished my student teaching, so I have the time to read and dedicate to this hobby that I like to do. Anyways, successful reading month for me. I hope it was successful for you. If not, I hope May goes even better. I hope May goes well. I hope you reach your goal this month. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you've liked it, be sure to subscribe down below and leave a comment. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know how many you read in April. Let me know what you read in April. I'm curious. If you have a wrap up, let me know. I would like to come check it out. You guys are so awesome. I'm so thankful for you. And we'll be back here next time. See ya!